President Barack Obama is taking his fight for health care reform right to the American people. He spoke to a crowd today at Arcadia University in Glenside, Pennsylvania this morning. But there's still a lot of skeptics out there about the president's plan, including our local Congressman Eric Cantor, who is, of course, the House Minority Whip. He did find some time to join us here on First at 4. Congressman, thanks for being here.
Good to be here.
Well, obviously, Congressman Cantor, you've become a pretty high-profile national figure. We see you on Meet the Press, also on the Today Show, CNN. Are you concerned at all that all this responsibility that you're taking on for your party has forced you to take the eye off the ball of local issues at all?
No, Ryan, because I think most people here in the Richmond area and throughout our state, frankly, are as concerned as any about the direction this country is headed. Right now, it's health care that's on debate in Washington, but really it's about the economy. It's about where is this country going in terms of our fiscal situation? How are we going to continue to spend this kind of money, expect our children and grandchildren to have as good a life as we have? And I think that is a concern here locally as much as anywhere.
Now, obviously, this role has put you at direct opposite sides of the president, and you two have had a couple of pretty public exchanges. One took place at the healthcare summit that happened recently at the Blair House. I want to show you a clip of that you've probably seen on more than one occasion.
We don't care for this bill. I think you know that. The American people don't care for the bill. I think that we've demonstrated, in the polling that they don't.
You know, when we do props like this, you stack it up and you repeat 2,400 pages, et cetera. You know, the truth of the matter is that healthcare is very complicated. Yep, these are the kind of political things we do that prevent us from actually having a conversation.
It seemed the president almost was annoyed by the fact that you brought that big bill and put it on the table during the healthcare summit. Were you grandstanding, as he seemed to imply?
Ryan, it's just so what people get frustrated with at Washington. This is a 2,700-page bill that costs $1 trillion. It is an attempt to transform 1/6 of our economy and, frankly, doesn't address the primary issue, which is how we're going to bring down costs for people. So I went to the debate or the discussion at the Blair House very much focused on how we could find our way to work together. And most of the American people are at the point where they don't like the bill that the president is pushing, and they'd rather us set that aside and go about step by step, assuming a much more common sense approach to try and deal with the issue of healthcare costs and then try and expand access.
There is no doubt that there seems to be a general distrust of government right now, but polls seem to say that comes on the side of both Republicans and Democrats. Are you concerned at all as you head into these 2010 elections that if Republicans don't start to get involved in this process a little more and start to get behind some of these ideas, that maybe you'll be left behind in some of these elections as well?
I think what we're seeing right now is many people are very frustrated at Washington or are distrustful that perhaps some of the solutions being proffered are going to address the problems. And I think what the people that I speak with saw in the discussion at the Blair House was, a Republican Party that came to the table with solutions. They were much different. There are two different solutions or visions for how we proceed in healthcare in this country. The one that I believe will be most effective is we do so in a fiscally responsible manner, is don't go spend $1 trillion, but let's try and bring down healthcare costs. Let's allow folks to purchase healthcare insurance across state lines. Let's do something to make sure we get the junk lawsuits out of the examining room. These are the type of step-by-step approaches that I think the American people would embrace without having to break the bank in the bill that's being proposed by the president.
Now, this is obviously going to play pivotal roles in the 2010 elections. From your perspective as a Republican, are we going to end up seeing more Republicans elected to Congress from Virginia in 2010 than Democrats?
Ryan, I think right now that the public has made up its mind on the Democrats' health care proposal. They're also very, very upset with the Obama administration's and, frankly, the majority being headed up by Speaker Pelosi in Congress, frankly, unwilling to listen to the American people. The folks that I talk to around Richmond feel very strongly that Congress doesn't get it, that it's not listening to what the people want. The people want us to focus on jobs, they want to focus on their economic future, and they want us to stop spending money we don't have, none of which do they see being done by Speaker Pelosi or this president.
All right, very good. Congressman Cantor, thanks for being here, and we're also going to extend an invitation to Representative Bobby Scott and Tom Perriello to get their side of it as well, but we do appreciate you being here.
Terrific. Thank you, Ryan.